Good morning, friends. Today we are going to learn the next part of Matthew Arnold's touchstone method. As he is described a touchstone method, that is, particular criteria for the standardness of the poetry and the poetic diction. He compared the classical writers with the other writers and he commented on it. In the previous lecture, we learned about the fallacies, mistakes, and what is the real evolution of the particular work of art, and that is personal estimation and historical estimation. Instead of personal estimation, personal evaluation, personal opinion, or the historical estimation, we must remember what is what what is the importance according to our thinking power, and what is the real estimation, that is what is our mind think about that, whether it is a classical, whether it is a poetry which is really there is no competition to that poetry, it is a classical one and uh, very applicable to every age or every society. In the next lecture, we will learn that is application of touchstone method. Arnold suggests that we have to collect some lines of the great masters or writers at first. Then we have to apply them as a touchstone to other poems. It means a comparison. It means that we have to make a comparative study between some extracts of world famous literary works and new literary works. So here Arnold gives importance to the comparison of the literary works which will be create the apply the touchstone method to each other, that is the comparison between those poetry and those work of art, and some selected lines or expressions of the great writers can be used as a touchstone to find out the real standard of a new writing. So what is the exact meaning of the touchstone according to the Matthew Arnold? That is, selected lines or expressions of the great writer can be called as a touchstone method. In Shakespeare's, when he write about Shakespeare, that he has given example from the Hamlet and the other writers as well. Again, writer says that Matthew Arnold says that quote some lines from Homer, Dante, Shakespeare, and Milton. We can select them from other writers too. And again, selection from the other writers and comparison between them is the most important part. We have to make a comparative study between them and the new writings. New writings means the writing which is the period from the Matthew Arnold period of the Matthew Arnold. If we can see the images of the great writers in the works of the new writers, see the images of the great writers in the works of the new writers, we will consider the new writers and their new writings with great value. If we do not find the shadows of great literary works in the new literary works, we will consider the new literary works and the new writers as worthless. So, he given importance to the classical writers, especially Homer, Dante, Shakespeare, and Milton. Matthew Arnold applies this theory to the writings of Chaucer. He presented his views on the Chaucer's writing. He quotes some lines from Chaucer and compares them with a line from Dante. Arnold decides that Chaucer does not have the quality of a great writer. In other words, Chaucer is not great as the general people think of him. So he compared that how Dante is used the particular dialect for his writing, and Chaucer can't use that kind of dialect for his writing. So he said that Chaucer is not great as the general people think of him. According to Arnold, many quotations of Chaucer have become well known and attracted the attention of the critics. He applies his touchstone method to justify the merits of Chaucer. He compares Chaucer with Dante. His comparative study shows that Chaucer does not have the quality of high seriousness like Dante, Homer, Shakespeare, and Milton. So he commented on it and created his opinion that there is no high poetic seriousness to Chaucer. According to the theory of touchstone method, Chaucer fails to present high seriousness in his works. This lacking excludes Chaucer from the group of the classics. High seriousness is the basic essence of any authentic poetry. The true success of poetry lies in its high seriousness. No poetry can achieve success without it. Poet can apply his idea of life in his poetry, but his application will fail if there is no seriousness. So here Chaucer given Matthew Arnold given importance to the high seriousness in the poetry, and according to him, he never gave importance to the Chaucer's poetry, and according to him, the Chaucer's poetry is not a high seriousness. High seriousness is the product of poetic truth and poetic beauty. When we think about the high seriousness, we'll come out for the catalytic influence of poetic truth and poetic beauty. It is the chief aim of poetry. Chaucer cannot be a classic because he does not show the signs of high seriousness in his poetry. For this reason, Touchstone method does not approve Chaucer as a classic writer. So, his Touchstone method selects some parts from the previous classical writers, and he compared those images, those parts of the poetry with the particular writer. Here he compared with the Dante and Chaucer and tries to compare them and tries to create the opinion that Chaucer is not having high seriousness like a Dante. So touchstone method is in the sense Matthew Arnold compared both the writers and tried to create the particular opinion of about the Chaucer and his poetry. Thus, Chaucer, Dryden, Pope, and Shelley fall short of the best because they lack high seriousness. Arnold idea, Arnold's ideal poets are Homer and Sophocles in the ancient world, Dante and Milton, and among moderns, Goethe and Wordsworth. Arnold puts Wordsworth in the front rank not for his poetry but for his criticism of life. So, according to Arnold, here he given importance to the classical writers like Homer and Sophocles, Dante and Milton, and he criticized through his touchstone method on Chaucer, Dryden, Pope, and Shelley. Criticism on the method that touchstone method is not accepted by all. Other writers criticized his touchstone method that comparison should not be done between the poetry. Every writer is having a creative aspects, creative thinking power. So that's why we should not compare the classical writers with the modern writers or classical writers with the contemporary writers. In that sense, we can say uh, that according to Arnold, touchstone method is having a limitations, and here it is true that many critics support it for its creative aspects, but many of them oppose it for its arbitrary nature. According to them, a writer should not be compared because the creativity of a writer is totally different from that of another writer. As a result, comparative study does not work in the case of poetry of any other writing. So critics said that that is poetry should not be compared with each other. And here uh, Matthew Arnold compared Dante and Chaucer and other writers in the sense of poetic diction, poetic high seriousness in the poetry. Garrod, one of the critics who is a famous critic, humorously called it the study of selling poetry by the pound. So, in this way, writer compared critics criticized on the touchstone method as well. T.S. Eliot also severely criticizes touchstone method. He does not believe in this comparative judgment procedure of Arnold. His theory is often praised highly and seems to be logical, but it is very sad that his touchstone method has got some fatal limitations. He believes that a quotation may judge a whole poetry, but how it can be possible? A mere quotation cannot be standard for judging poetry. So, quotations should not be used by Matthew Arnold. T.S. Eliot said that he should not compare through the quotations. Besides, according to the Touchstone method, poetry can be judged only by diction, style, and manner, not by the subject matter. So, here Matthew Arnold given importance to the diction, style, and manner, high seriousness in the poetry, but never think about the subject matter or the content of the particular writer or the poet, or of course subject matter is a great factor in the poem. So here touchstone method is praised as well as it is criticized in that period. So here we learn about the Matthew Arnold's touchstone method, how he talks about the personal estimation and the historical estimation, and after that the real estimation of the poetry, high seriousness of the poetry, comparison between the classical writers and the contemporary writers, and again how he used and given examples of the quotations from the Dante, quotations from the Chaucer, as well as the quotation of the Shakespeare's Hamlet. So here we can understand that the Stone method is applied to the particular quotations, and he used those quotations for the other writers' works as well and create a comparison between them. In this way, we learned the Matthew Arnold's touchstone method. In the next lecture, we will move towards the next part of the T.S. Eliot's essay, Individual Tradition and Individual Talent. So, it is again the part of the modern criticism. In the previous part, we learned about the uh, Victorian criticism, and now uh, the Matthew Arnold is a critic from the Victorian criticism, and now in the next lecture we learn about the modern criticism and T.S. Eliot's work, the essay Tradition and Individual Talent. Till then, stay safe, stay home. Thank you.